Streetlight 84. They stayed far away and they watched the house through binoculars. And there was no sound. Everything was quiet.
And without even asking questions, knocking on a door, giving an interview or anything, they just literally went in there guns blazing.
She's scared they could come in again and shoot.
Happy about the holidays. They were building their new house. They were, it was a fresh new life that they were building. And then this all happened.
Welcome to our second exciting episode of Streetlight 84. Today, we're going to talk about another very disturbing and weird story. Daniel, nice to see you. Good morning. How are you? Did you sleep well? Everything good?
Everything's good over here, man. Hans, how you doing, man?
Well, I see you sitting there all in your summer clothes. I'm sitting here in a scarf because I'm in North Carolina and my friend Daniel is in Florida. So if you ask me how I'm doing, to look at you, that frustrates me a little bit because I sit here with a scarf around my neck.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a very beautiful day here in sunny South Florida. So
okay. Well, today we're going to talk about another crazy story. I mean, you heard the first story of the murderers and all this. This one is different, but it is at the same time, it shows how the police totally failed this man and shot him multiple times. So Daniel, how did we get to the story? Tell us.
We heard about our buddy Harley. He was shot by police after waking up to hearing a knock at the door. So it wasn't called. There wasn't any hot pursuits or anything like that. He was sleeping in the middle of the night, opened up the door, and shots were fired.
So let's back up. His name is Jason Kloepfer. He and his wife, they live outside of a small town called Murphy in North Carolina. And Harley is, Jason Harley, he loves his Harleys, of course, and he's a little bit of a wild man, but a very sweet man, and talks a lot, but he likes to party and do all these things. And the couple were staying at a mobile home because they were building their house on their property. And it was still in the process of, being ready, etc. So they stayed at the mobile home. And it was December of 2022, right?
Yeah, because we just went there earlier this year. Yep, December 22.
So what happened was, they came home. They were a little bit, they were in a good mood and they partied. So Jason, the wild man, he fired off some.
He set off some fireworks.
He set up some fireworks, exactly.
Yes,
so he set up some fireworks.
But keep this in mind. It's the country, so it's not a big city. It's a very rural area. A lot of open space, a lot of land is out where Jason lives.
But they had a neighbor from hell, because this woman who lived just down the road, she called the police on them 13 times. 13 times. They're too loud, they're doing this, and Harley is a happy man, and at that night she claimed that they were shooting fireworks, and also she heard gunshots, and she heard him screaming, "I'm going to kill them all," and all this kind of stuff. Today we know that it was made up. But let's listen to the tape. At the time, we got the police, the phone call of the neighbor to the police. So listen into it, please.
I'm just writing all this down. Hold on 1 second.
And he does have a scanner. One of the deputies on duty said to tell y'all to send it over digital so that he doesn't hear it.
Okay. How many shots have you heard?
All together tonight, at least 10. but there's been fireworks and motorcycle and everything else all in between.
What's your address? And I'll send the officers over to speak to you as well.
Well, I prefer to not have anybody roll up in the driveway because it makes him 10 times worse the next several nights to us. He starts directing his anger towards us. We've had this issue before. They can call me in any of them.
Okay, that's fine. Can I give you an email to send those videos to so I can get them to the officers?
I've already sent them to Erickson and Daniels, so they both have
Okay, you have. Okay. All right, well, that's who we do have Erickson en route as well. So, all right, if you hear anything.
Yeah, that's fine. I knew he was in. I'm going to step back outside and continue videoing. I'd already texted them before I called it in because I didn't want him to hear it over the scanner.
Okay. All right, well,
but
I'll have the officers en route there, and I'll have them give you a call as well. And if you hear anything else, you just call us right back, okay?
I sure will. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
She claimed, for instance, she has a video. She never took a video. It was all lies. But she made it look like, and as you can hear, that this Jason probably killed his wife and he's going crazy. So the police, the Cherokee police from Murphy, sheriff's office, they got their people together. They went out to the home of Jason and Allie, but they didn't dare to go to the house, to the mobile home, and just knock at the door to see what's going on. They stayed far away and they watched the house through binoculars, and there was no sound. Everything was quiet. So they figured maybe he already killed her, right?
Yeah, the police were at the edge of his driveway, which is a very long driveway. They were hanging out. They saw no movement, nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing was going on. But they got this frantic call from the neighbor that fireworks are going off and they're screaming and there's this loud dispute going on and he's killing everybody and guns are blazing. And when the cops show up, nothing. Quiet as a mouse.
So now they had to make a decision. They said, well, we can't go in there because maybe, he's armed, he's going to shoot. And so one of them, I guess the chief said, we got to call the SWAT team in. Now, Monroe doesn't have a SWAT team.
No.
They have a few sheriff's deputies. That's all they have. So what do? They called the SWAT team where the next SWAT team was, which is in Durham, North Carolina, about 2 hours away from Murphy. Plus, so they call them. It doesn't mean that they jump in their trucks right away. They have to prepare. So they're waiting there for about 3 to 4 hours. So remember, as he told us, the SWAT team arrived at about 4 o'clock a.m. In the meantime, nobody knows what happens in the mobile home.
But really quickly, think about that. The call was about 10 o'clock at night. And the SWAT team shows up at 4 a.m. There's no movement going on with the cops are still by the driveway, just hanging out, waiting to see if this mass murderer comes out of his trailer of his home. Nothing.
Yeah, with the Uzi, a machine gun, all these things. And the truth was that both of them were asleep.
Yeah.
They did their little stunt with the firecrackers and all this. And then Ellie said to him, okay, Harley, it's enough. Let's go to bed. And they went to bed. In the meantime, there's the whole SWAT team shows up and, a big hoopla. So now what do? They sent in a robot.
Yes.
Right?
It looks like a little RC car robot.
Right.
With the little camera that drives inside of this trailer.
But here's the key, and we would not even be talking about it because the key is Jason and Allie had 2 cameras in their mobile home who react on movement. So the moment they see movement, they feel there is a movement, the cameras are rolling.
This would be on our YouTube page.
Right, but we're going to play the audio now so you can hear how traumatic that was. So here's what happens. Daniel, go ahead. The robot goes into that mobile home.
So it
And
drives
that's the moment
through.
when the cameras turn on.
Yes. It gets almost to the door, and Harley wakes up because he hears, I guess he was a light sleeper. He hears something.
And we see them in the bed. We see them sleeping because
Yeah.
their cameras were activated.
But you can hear police outside yelling something, and that's what woke them up. Police, wake up. And you guys will see this all on camera. And when they wake up, he sees this robot and he picks it up. How did this get, just so confused? It's 4:00 in the morning. He's been sleeping for 6 hours. And he wakes up to a robot and hearing loud police noises. Come out with your hands up.
You will hear this. You have to hear this, and we're going to play it right now. And then we come back, explain the aftermath. So let's roll it.
What's going on? Hello? 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 What is going on?
Jason, step outside and talk to him.
The fuck is that fucking thing? I don't know. What's he say?
Come outside, Jason. Step outside the door onto the deck and show us your hand.
What is going on? What the fuck?
Jason, we just want to talk to you. Come outside.
Yeah. What?
Show us your hand.
What did you? I'm shot! I'm shot! I'm shot! What the hell? I'm shot! He's shot! What the hell did you do? Oh, fuck! I can't! I'm shot! I'm shot! He's shot! He's shot! I'm shot! No! 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 He's shot! No! He can't! He's shot! I'm shot! He's disabled! He's shot! Please! I'm shot! Can't hear me! I can't hear it! There's a can't!
Wow. Every time I see it, it has this wow effect.
I mean, but just look how they just opened fire. Just guns blazing.
Yeah.
Let's have a discussion.
Gets hit. He falls back. His wife, I don't know. I mean, this Ellie is, for me, she's a heroine because she picked him up. She pulled him back from the door. And they kept shooting. I mean, bullets everywhere. When we looked at the motorhome, how many bullets were there? 10?
19? 19 or 20. I mean, they weren't even shooting 9mm. They weren't shooting pistols. They were shooting assault rifles. That's what he was hit with. He was hit with an assault rifle round. Twice. How he survived is beyond me.
So he's screaming. He's hurt because he's been hit several times on the side, his chest. I mean, you name it. He was hit. Ellie, luckily, was not hit at all, but she kept screaming and screaming. And then the police comes in. And the first thing they say, oh, shit, he's got cameras. Remember that?
Yeah. In the corner of their house, that's where that's where this camera was located. So you could see all the way down the hallway to where Harley was at, and you could see where the lights were from the police. And when the cops walked in and realized that that camera just literally recorded everything, you could hear in their voice like, oh no, this isn't good.
But as I said at the beginning, if not for this security video footage, we wouldn't even be sitting here, because the police, I'm not saying, I cannot accuse them, but there would have been a chance that without the video, the outcome could have been different, meaning where they said, well, it's his fault, he had a gun, we thought he had a gun, blah, blah, blah. He never had a gun. I mean, they went berserk. It was just a constant barrage of firing, and Harley in the corner screaming because he has pain, he was hit. He said, I'm shot, and Ellie trying to comfort him, and that is about where the video ends. Harley spent, I think, 3 weeks or 4 weeks in hospital. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was in the hospital for a while.
And he was really badly injured.
He had multiple surgeries as well.
The police is caught with their pants down. I mean, they're really caught. I mean, this is unbelievable what they did. First of all, they dropped all the charges. You know, there was no disturbing the peace charge. All this is gone. And
before we go too far, the whole time he was in the hospital, though, he was fully charged. They charged him with everything. They just recently dropped all the charges when they realized, like, there's footage of everything that transpired.
So Harley and Ellie, they are now suing, of course, the sheriff's department. As of today, nothing has been decided, what kind of money they will get, etc. And they're dragging their feet, and he's trying hard. But what really broke me, because you will hear the interview in a minute, the interview we did with them, that I asked Ellie, so how do you sleep at night? Well, first of all, they don't even want to be at the home, at the mobile home anymore, because she can't sleep in a bed now. She sleeps in a bathtub, wherever they are, if they are in a hotel.
Yeah. So what you guys are also going to see on our YouTube page as well. So when you and I actually, showed up to interview them, that was the first time that they've been back to that home since. They instantly moved away. They moved to a different location. They moved out of state, actually.
Right.
And they had no plans to ever returning. They really, really didn't. So, luckily enough, we got an interview with them. They showed up to where it happened, and you could just see the emotional ride that they went through the whole time we were with them. And graciously enough, they gave us their time. They didn't rush us out of there or anything. They, as Ellie told us off camera, she needed it, as some closure, but it was very, very emotional for them.
What was so heartbreaking for me was, and I'm sure for you as well, when they arrived and they were just standing there on that ground where all that happened, and the memories and backflash. They hugged, she cried, and they hadn't been at that place at least for 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
All the Christmas decorations were still up. And that's also another sad thing. They were happy about the holidays. They were building their new house. They were, it was a fresh new life that they were building, and then this all happened. And
listen to the interview that we had with them, and we'll be back after that and discuss a little more. Here we go.
Hans, the floor is yours.
You explain to us outside what happened. They knock at the door and you come out. And no, they didn't knock at the door. They tell you to come out and all that. In your wildest dreams, did you think they're going to shoot you?
No. My wildest dreams, I didn't think there was a SWAT team and guns aimed at my door. I never think there was any guns or anything.
I don't know what I was thinking when I woke up and going out there, but not that I had guns aimed at me.
Allie, what is it like for you to witness your husband being shot? Did you know right away he was shot?
I don't remember screaming at them because they kept yelling for him to come outside, and everybody told me afterwards that that I was a crazy girl because I was out there yelling at the cops and saying that, you know, my husband's disabled, he can't come out, you just shot him, how is he supposed to come out? And I went out there, and then they, you know, handcuffed me and whatnot, and I was a supposed hostage in that situation, and yet I was handcuffed, and I wasn't even allowed to go to the hospital with my husband, who just got shot and was possibly dying.
But that's for you. I mean, what a slap in the face.
Yeah. It's been like the most traumatic thing I've ever been through in my whole life. And if this is the second time he's been shot, at least the first time they let me in the ambulance with him. Like this time I had no idea for hours if he was alive, if he was dead, what they did to him. For hours. Nobody would tell me anything. Nothing. For at least 12 hours, almost 12 hours, I didn't really...
Yeah, 12 hours.
12 hours until I was actually with you again.
5 o'clock is when you were allowed back in here.
Yes.
And that's when you were able to call people and to find out that I was okay. Well, not okay, but
let me ask you
alive.
something. They transported you with the ambulance to the hospital.
They denied me life. After they shot me, they dragged me like a piece of trash down my handicap ramp to the dirt and rocks. And I even said to them as they were dragging me, "Don't drag me to the dirt and rocks." And they dragged me to the dirt and rocks. They put a tourniquet on my arm. They were stuffing my wounds. And I remember calmly, I said, "Look at me, guys." I said, "I'm going to die." I said, "Please, I know how to calm my wife down, and let me just say goodbye to her for the last time." And they wouldn't even look at me. They wouldn't even look me in the face. All these cops all standing up looking over me. SWAT team, they're stuffing me with, stuffing the bullet wounds. And I said to him again, I said, "Come on, man." I said, "I'm not going to live. You know that." I said, "Let me say goodbye to my wife for the last time." I said, "I'm not going to tell her it." I said, "But I know how to calm her down, and please." And now they wouldn't even look at me again. And I'll never forget this. I said, "Okay." And I put my head back, and I just leaned back and looked at the sky. And where we live here, there's zero light pollution. The sky here on a lot of nights, it's like the planetarium.
Yeah.
There's millions of stars. It's beautiful here. There's zero light pollution. And that night, the stars were all out. And I leaned back, and I seen just one tiny, small little cloud by the moon. And I said, at least it's a beautiful night to die. And then they put me on a stretcher, rolled the stretcher along the rocks all the way down around the bend, put me in the ambulance, and we sat in my driveway for 20 minutes with the ambulance. I was in the ambulance for 20 minutes.
Why?
They said they were waiting to hear back from life support helicopter. And I said, "Well, can't we start driving to Chattanooga? It's 2 hours from here. The nearest hospital is 2 hours from here."
Trauma center.
The nearest trauma center is 2 hours from our property right here. I said, "Well, can we start driving? If they're going to come and get me, they can always get me ahead, but we'll start driving." "Oh, no, we're going to wait." "You're going to wait?" I'm sitting here with bullet holes all on me, my chest and tourniquets. I didn't get to the hospital for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Did they by helicopter or
No, the helicopter. I don't know how. We've done homework. Other newspapers have done homework. The skies were clear. It was a perfect tent for flight conditions, with all the local airports reporting that. But yet the life support said, bad weather, we can't come get them.
When you were in the hospital, at that time, were you still guilty?
Well, what do you mean?
Meaning they thought you did something terrible?
There were charges on him.
They put charges. They put charges.
handcuff you?
No. They didn't handcuff me, and I passed out from either the pain medicine or the pain about 2 hours and 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes for the hospital, I don't remember because I was out. I don't know if they put me fully out in the ambulance or not, but I was out. The surgeons told me that it was so long and it was so bad that they had to do the operation on my arm in the ambulance in the Bombing Hospital.
Because you were losing blood?
Because everything was that bad with me that they didn't believe that I would make it to the OR, to emergency room, to the operating room to do the operation. So they did the operation in the ambulance at the Bombing Hospital.
First thing he did when he woke up from his surgery was go like this with his arm to make sure he could still pull the clutch in with his injured arm.
I'm a biker. I would bike it to the day I died and since the day I was born. And that was the first thing I did when I woke up from the hospital, she said. I took my hand, I went like that, and the nurse said, what are you doing? I said, I got to make sure I can pull the clutch in. I said, I got to ride.
When they took Harley away, did they finally release you, or what happened?
I was in handcuffs in the back of a police car.
Why?
Unknown.
You're the victim.
Exactly. Supposed victim.
Yeah. I don't know. And then I had to, they said if I make a statement, they'll be able to release me and I can go see my husband. And I later found out that was a lie. And I was basically trapped here on my property for hours until I was finally able to get my car released and drive the 2 hours to Chattanooga to finally be with my husband, who has been alone dealing with surgeries. I came in, he has a trach still in him. He can't say anything. He's trying to write as fast as he can to ask me questions. And I mean, once I was able to get a phone though, I made sure I made all the important phone calls, and my attorney was one of the first ones I called also. So
yep.
I made sure of that.
Didn't they ask you, because you're alive, you're not, didn't they say, did your husband abuse you or
not one of those questions?
You? Nothing.
Nope. None of those questions were asked.
But that is the reason, I guess, why they came.
Yep.
And they didn't ask you.
Nope. Not at all.
Makes you wonder what they were really here for.
Harley, let me ask you. This little camera up there.
Still running. I'm filming you guys, film me.
Did it save your life?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it didn't save my life, but it's...
question you answered.
The camera, it saved me from going to jail.
Yes.
It saved me from being one of those people sitting there going, I'm innocent, and being innocent. Because who are they going to believe, me or 20 cops?
Did they know this camera is there?
In the end, yes and no. I think that because when I got out of the hospital, I didn't say nothing. I didn't release no videos. We kept quiet. That after a couple of weeks, they felt comfortable that the camera didn't work. And that's when they started telling more lies and starting their statements to lies.
Wait, hold on, because we have to understand this. So that little camera up there.
Yes.
Go ahead and ask a question with the camera.
So that little camera up there.
Yes.
Was your witness.
Yes.
That little camera up there told the story.
Yes.
Yes.
Told a totally different story than the police.
Okay, but wait. So they thought, because when they came in,
Well, we don't think that they seen that camera. We think that they seen the monitor, and they seen the cameras on the TV. So I don't think that they seen this camera, the little one up top.
So was the monitor on?
Yes, the monitor was on, and
What did it show?
it showed 4 cameras covered up.
Wait a minute. Your cameras were covered up?
Yes, the police covered my cameras. The police covered my cameras within the first hour of being on the property.
So you have cameras outside?
Yes, I have 4 cameras outside.
And they covered them up?
Yes, they covered and moved them and changed them. So that way they weren't viewing nothing. They couldn't see nothing.
But the most important one...
They didn't know. I have 2 camera systems. That's a secondary camera system. They didn't realize I had 2 different camera systems.
So you didn't tell anybody about that camera?
Nope. Nobody. Those were new. This is new. I've only had this for about a month and a half before I got shot.
So, Ali, how did you keep it quiet? I mean, weren't you afraid?
Our attorneys just told us to don't worry about it. We're going to take care of everything. And
well, they told us keep quiet with it. Let these police feel comfortable that camera didn't work, and let them sign their statements. Let them sign their lies and what they're going to do. We're essentially putting a trap out there, and we're going to let them
put their statements
and now we can see how high up the corruption is and how high up the lies are.
But during that time, you were still charged, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I've been charged with the charges from, they put the charges on me about 4 hours after they shot me. They put those charges on me. And then those charges stayed on to me till very recently, till
March 1st.
Till March 1st. So they kept the charges on me until right now, till as we speak right now, April 6th. Today's date.
7th.
Well, today's the 7th, April 7th. Easter weekend. Easter weekend right now, nobody has been charged with any crimes right now except for me. I'm the only person to right now that's been charged. These cops right now are working. They have badges. They have guns. And it's still working, collecting a paycheck on the citizens' money when they're murderers.
What was the reason? What was their reason even to shoot at you? What did they say?
There wasn't one.
They didn't say.
We haven't said anything.
We have not gotten a reason from them.
Did they say, "Oh, we thought he had a gun" or something?
They haven't told us.
We've seen what they told the papers. I verbally confronted them.
But that's a lie.
But that's a lie.
There is no
none.
justification for them shooting him.
So now the day comes that you say, you know what, we're gonna.
Yep, I put together my own video thing, which was part 1, 5 a.m. firing squad, and it's the beginning of it is yellow. I put that together with a couple friends, and we released it.
What was it like? I mean,
It felt.
Okay, but
Especially as the comments came in and people seeing it, it felt like justice was coming. It felt so good that people were seeing the truth and my name was being cleared, because for 5 weeks my name was torn through the mud. Torn through the mud, man. People were looking at me like I was a piece of garbage, that I went outside, I confronted police, and I acted like a piece of garbage. And now they see the truth, that I wasn't a piece of garbage. I didn't go out there and confront the police. I did what I was told.
He was complying.
I was complying 100%.
So Harley, so
Sorry.
what?
No, he was squeezing my hand a little hard.
The thing comes out, and the reaction is.
I felt so good. I won't lie.
And what do you know? What the sheriff's office did? What they?
Well, I can only imagine what happened to the sheriff's office.
They released the statement that they needed their own SWAT team to better facilitate because they had to call the other.
They said the next day, after the video comes out, he put a retraction in, and no apologies.
Yeah.
The sheriff, Dustin Smith, gave no apologies, no prayers for me and my family to heal, no nothing. Mm-hmm. In the first paragraph, he threw everybody else under the bus and blamed everybody else but himself. And then the rest of the story, all he did was promote himself to get a SWAT team. And let me put this on the record. That next day, the town, the board, everybody came together and had an emergency hearing and shut down the SWAT and said to him, just to let you know, for 4 more years, don't ask for SWAT. We just had a meeting. You're not getting a SWAT team.
So that was a complete overkill?
Yeah. Dustin used to be in charge of the SWAT team, the CERT team that used to be here. So that's what he is. He's a SWAT team man, the main sheriff here in town.
So what do you want to accomplish? What
I want to accomplish, first and foremost, is justice. I want them for their crimes that they committed on me, committed on my wife. I want them to pay for what they do to with jail, with losing their badges, and second most, which is right there first, is I want to make sure this doesn't happen to anybody else again. Mm-hmm. That nobody else in America or anywhere else sit in these shoes that we're in right now and ever have to look down the barrel of a gun and get shot again. Or their wives have to go through this because of officers like this, especially these officers, because they're going to do it again. That's all there is to it. They're going to do it again. You've done it once, you'll do it twice.
Ellie, you are also very emotional. How has that changed your life? That incident that night of December.
If we're on the motorcycle, anytime I see a police officer of a vehicle or anything, I literally just start shaking. I'm scared everywhere I go. I have to go. I've been in therapy twice a week.
They're recommending Allison go to a trauma facility. That's another reason why we have the GoFundMe right now. The GoFundMe, the facility that her therapist is recommending is $40,000. It's a 30-day program that specializes in PTSD trauma, and the place is willing to work a deal with us that we could pay $10,000 now and have a promissory note that when the civil suit is over, we can pay the rest.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you about that, the GoFundMe. Where can people find you? Donate?
It's Justice for Jason and Allison.
Yes, Justice for Jason and Allison.
It's Justice for Jason and Allison.
Don't look at the camera. You gotta look at me. I know it's difficult.
It's on the GoFundMe. It's Justice for Jason and Allison. There's also a link if you go to either one of our Facebook pages. It's on there.
If they go to my Facebook, Jason Harley Kloepfer.
No, it's J. Harley Kloepfer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Scratch that. If they go to my Facebook, which is J, the letter J, Harley, like Harley Davidson, J Harley Kloepfer, or on the GoFundMe, it is Justice for Jason and Allison.
Okay.
And that's very important that we have this GoFundMe.
Absolutely.
So the first and foremost, so we get the $10,000 to get my wife the help that she needs, because she needs it.
How?
I can handle it. I'm Jay Harley. I can handle this. I'll get through this. But my wife, she needs help.
But like sitting here, what are your plans? Are you going to move back in here, or?
Well, this has got to go. We got to buy something new now. This is completely destroyed where we lived here. This travel trailer that we have, which
our home
here that we have is totally destroyed. Now we have to buy something new until we finish our actual our forever home up there. Until we finish that.
Yeah.
Harley, you seem to be a tough guy from the outside, but your soft spot is your wife.
Yeah.
Because you started having you tear up.
Yeah, and then I want this justice. I want this justice. I want these. What they did to my wife and me. They need to pay. They need to pay. They need to be answered.
Yes.
What do your friends say?
My friends are losing it. They're going, why? Why aren't these cops in jail? What's going on? And then they're trying to blame my lawyers, my friends. And I'm like, my lawyers are doing the best they can. My lawyers are doing the best they can. My lawyers are working around the clock, 24/7. I'm not even joking, exaggerating. I'm at the phone with my lawyers at times at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Every week since this has happened, a few times a week, I'm on the phone with my lawyers till 2, 3 in the morning, and we're putting stuff together, putting everything. There's just so much that was done. There was so many laws broken. There was so many civil rights broken. That 4 lawyers in 3 different firms is taking this long to put it together. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Does it surprise you? Because yesterday I got in touch and I spoke to the sheriff, Dustin
Smith.
Does it surprise you that he doesn't give interviews?
Oh yeah,
it doesn't surprise us at all because
they shut down the sheriff's phone line a few months ago because so many people were calling in telling them, "Hey, we know who shot that guy." They wanted to collect the money. They said, "Your boys shot him. Now give us our reward."
It's just been a complete.
Yeah, they were calling in to report a crime. People were calling the sheriff's department saying, "We want to report a crime. We've seen this video online, and your sheriff's committed a crime and shot an innocent man."
There were several YouTubers too that would call up, and they had like the whole phone conversation recorded, and it was just that made us feel good because it made us feel like people cared.
It did.
Really
it did. Everybody that supported us. And everybody that made phone calls, everybody that even said prayers, even that word prayers, it all meant a lot. It's held us. It's helped hold us strong up until now.
I mean, you didn't communicate with the sheriff, but let's say if you would talk to the camera, what would you tell the sheriff?
I would tell the sheriff, I think your mother raised you better. That you should at least be apologize that you're wrong. That wasn't going on here. You made a call, and you allowed things to happen that almost ended me and my wife's lives. For what? For a neighbor that's a habitual caller for fireworks and music, living in the country.
We live in the Bible Belt, and nothing that has been done nothing that has been done to us right now, living in the Bible Belt, has been very Christianly of any of them.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
need to say.
The sheriffs, this is like the belt buckle of the Bible. It's the Bible belt, but right here is like the belt buckle, the field of the woods with the commandments, the 10 commandments that are in the field and stuff. That's 3 miles from here.
Down the road, yeah.
3 miles from here. We're in the belt buckle of the Bible Belt, and the police and stuff are acting the furthest thing from it. You would think this was New York. Yeah. You would think this was 1980s New York. What's going on here?
We left the city to enjoy the beautiful country life and live our lives the way we wanted to, and just they've taken everything away from us.
What are your plans? Are you going to stay, or are you going to move? Or?
Right now, we can't stay here. We got to stay away until charges are brought up and these police officers don't have a badge. I truly feel that if I was living here and went to town or came back from town, that one of these cops might pull me over and just try to kill me.
Right.
Because of what's going on. Because they know it's eventually going to come. I mean, it has to.
Are you so afraid that they'll retaliate?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm 100% afraid that they're going to retaliate.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, I'm not one to be afraid, but you know what? The police are the police. We've seen right now. Everybody's watching this video for 4 months and seen it clear as day. These cops tried to execute me and my wife, and nobody has had a charge on them.
No, not a one.
Not one officer has had a charge, and they're all working with badges and guns right now as we speak. They're working.
Well, I know it was difficult for you to come here, and I thank you because you know it and I hope it helps a little bit to heal.
It's a start to the process.
It's a start.
Definitely a start to the healing process.
We need to come back. And
well, I'm glad you came with us.
I
really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much, Hans. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get B-roll of you guys just
Do a
sitting
couple
down.
B-roll, holding hands, a stick, just stuff like that, and looking at each other.
I'll be right back.
I know. Oh boy. I'm almost happy this wasn't like total media attention, because I couldn't do this all the time.
That's right. I know. We ain't got enough makeup for you.
Fuck you. Listen, guns don't kill you, but I can poison you.
It's true.
Oh man.
I'm strong like bull.
I'm full of shit up to here. Whoa.
I'll be right.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
Don't say it on camera on vibrations.
Okay, keep going. Don't talk about the camera. Stay like that.
Me too. We'll be right.
I know we'll be okay.
Work out.
Yeah. Oh my God, Hans! Every time I always watch that interview with them, it's still heartbreaking. You know, I mean, which actually reminded me from watching that. Remember when it started raining? When it was there, it was just a very somber rainstorm it was a beautiful day before we got there, and then it just started raining. So I don't know if anybody's in that, but it was just like, I don't know. It's heartbreaking, man. You know, you think you're gonna start your new life and do this stuff, and then this is a story we were covering.
You know, sometimes when you know all the stories we do, I don't even, you know, we do the story, we move on, and I don't even look at the footage, what we've done. By the way, I just saw this footage again, and I heard the interview. I mean, that is the most important focus for our podcast. We do interviews. We don't show, because it doesn't make sense when you're listening to podcasts. You're driving or somewhere, so you always can watch it then when you get home and you want to see it on our YouTube channel. But to hear this, I mean, this isn't erased from their memory.
No.
This This isn't, okay, that happened, life goes on, because it's a constant reminder what happened to them. I mean, the Ellie sleeps in a bathtub. Think about that. Because she's scared. She's scared they could come in again and shoot. It,
And
you know, it's unbelievable.
the police are there for a protect and serve, and the way that they handled the situation was not even police-like. It was just they went completely rogue. They went off of just a neighbor that's throwing accusations around, and without even asking questions, knocking on a door, giving an interview or anything, they just literally went in there guns blazing. Not even, I mean, just think about it. Like, there was not even a threat going on. They were outside of this house for multiple hours. There wasn't a movement going on, and they just instantly shot the place up. They didn't even knock on the door to say, hey, come out with your hands up. They just sent a little robot in there, and when he woke up, they just started shooting.
Right.
I mean, that's insane to
Well, I said, come on out,
imagine.
and he came to the door. He came to the door. He followed their orders, and he came to the door, and that's when they started shooting.
Yeah, and if you guys are watching the video, the thing in his hand was the robot. That was not a weapon. That was not a gun. That was what the cops sent in there to see what was going on, was a video robot. But for them to talk about it, as well as they could, it was, I mean, that's still so unimaginable.
I called them a few weeks ago, and of course, nothing has been resolved yet. If you see Jason walking, he can't even walk. He has a stick because of all the injuries he had. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
How they changed his life, being scared. So anyway, this is the story we wanted to tell you and what we experienced with this couple. And we keep you up to date. Once there is a trial, we let you know what happened and what kind of monetary settlement was made. We don't know, but hopefully it's enough that they, can live a life without worries, and hopefully, Allie's fear will subside and she will be able to sleep in the bed again. I mean, that's sad.
Yeah, hopefully that stuff goes away, but I mean, people that go through traumatic, I mean, I don't see that kind of traumatic experience going away anytime soon, and I definitely wish them well. I mean, hopefully they get a nice payday out of this stuff, but that trauma is going to be there.
I tried to call. I spoke to the sheriff who runs this place. He wouldn't even give me an interview because, I get that, because there's a lawsuit out there and he really can't talk. And I asked Jason, I said, did they ever apologize to you? No, they never did. They never did. Isn't that the right thing to do? My parents taught me if I did something wrong and I was wrong, I have to apologize. They didn't. So
yeah, that's also the other crazy thing. I mean, just even to reach their hand out of at least, I mean, but also just to play devil's advocate on it. But if they do say they're sorry, since there is an open investigation, there's a lawsuit that's pending, wouldn't that kind of show instant guilt if they said an apology?
Well, I get it. Yeah, I get it. But let me ask you, I mean, everything is so clear. This is all their fault.
Yeah. I mean, it's
But
on
you're
camera.
man enough to say, I mean, look what you've done to this family. Just say, look, I understand there's a lawsuit. Just be a mensch. Just go and apologize. But nope, not in this one. So we're done for today. Thank you, Daniel.
Guys, you can check us out on any podcast platform, Streetlight 84. You can also check out our YouTube page, Streetlight 84, or you can reach us at streetlight84podcast@gmail.com.
Thank you again, and we will see you in a few days for another episode of Streetlight 84. Have a great day and be safe.
See you guys.